everybody, Rutledge from TechRaptor here. I've been spending a good chunk of time on the Destiny Alpha and figured I'd share my first impressions. The tower right here is where you pretty much go between missions. You have this vault, much like you do in Borderlands 2, in which you can kind of trade items between your players. Torchlight has it too. There's also a plethora of vendors. You've got the encoder, cryptographic vendor, right here, who some enemies drop like encoded weapons and armor, which you have to take to her to get decoded, and that actually gives you rep with them as well to buy better encoded items in the future. There's also down here the two Vanguard vendors, which basically take the PvE marks from the bounty vendor. The bounty vendor, which is up above, basically distributes different bounties day to day. The area I'm running in right now is actually where the Guardian vendors are. So the Titan, the Hunter, the Warlock classes, which there's 3 classes in Destiny, obviously. There's also a gunsmith where you can buy, obviously, guns, because Destiny is all about guns, and then sometimes punching. Punching's fun. There's also a ship vendor where you can get upgraded ships for your character, as well as upgraded mounts, faster little mount things. They're like little speeders, basically, speeder bikes. There's 3 PvP vendors, so 3 different reputation factions for PvP, where you can get marks from that bounty vendor for completing particular Crucible, which is PvP, Crucible bounties, as well as actually playing the Crucible as well. But I'll show some footage of that in a little bit. There's also a vendor that basically, once you hit max level, which is 20, instead of earning experience, you'll earn motes of light, which he basically takes as currency. There's the Postmaster over here, which actually has a really cool feature to it, Destiny does, to where in other games, obviously, if you miss a drop, you're kind of SOL, and you're not going to get your drop back. In Destiny, however, they mail it to you. So if you miss an encoded weapon or armor or something, the Postmaster actually mails it to you. When you get to the tower, you can grab it and basically redeem it at the encoder or equip it or whatever it is you want to do. I made the quick mistake here. Just so you know, you can't hop on top of the plane in order to be flown off somewhere else. Whoops. But I mean, the view up here is absolutely amazing. Destiny, Bungie created an absolutely gorgeous world. And there's not much more I can really say about Destiny, except for the fact that it is really, really good, and everybody should definitely take a look at it. I mean, God, this skybox is just downright awesome. Yeah. So the map basically shows what options you have. You've got the Dark Within, which is a short little story bit. You've got the Explore Cosmodrome, which actually allows you to do a whole bunch of little mini missions throughout kind of the starting area that Bungie gave us access to. And then you've got the Devil's Lair, which is a 3-person fire team / co-op area, and it's actually pretty difficult. And there's 2 bosses, as well as a whole bunch of monsters and things like that. But I'm going to show that part off in small little chunks because it's really cool. So the co-op is pretty cool. The part that I'm showing right now is actually a wave-based one, so you'll see that like mesh layers, because we're deactivating a series of lasers. basically the three of us have to work as a team. And a couple times I played this, I actually had some issues with my team to where they kind of either ran off or hung back and didn't do anything. So this took forever. But in this instance, I was playing with a friend and just another random person who they were both good, and it was a lot more fun that way. But the game will throw all sorts of different monsters at you, or fallen, I guess they're called, every time. It's always the same, though, the same waves, same enemies, same attacks. It's just a little different sometimes based on the AI. But I have a pretty nice array of weapons at my disposal for my Titan. And all characters have access to the same weapons. For instance, right now I'm running a sniper rifle, boom, headshot, and a pulse rifle, as well as a machine gun heavy weapon. And there's all sorts of different weapons. Like the primary weapons are like the rifles, the pulse rifle, the fusion rifle, and the special weapons are like shotguns and sniper rifles and various other kinds of weapons, pulse rifles. And there's also heavy weapons that do a lot more damage, whether they're like rockets or something like that. You also obviously have armor and things like that. But I definitely found this portion of the game to be much more challenging, which was really nice because the story and the exploration was really, really easy, which is fine. And there's my supercharged weapon, or ability. Basically, I just jump down and blow everything up around me with electricity. And when you do certain cool kills and things, it gives you orbs of light, which recharge that. Otherwise, it just kind of recharges on its own. But it's pretty cool, especially the bosses. The bosses are crazy difficult. They kill you pretty easy, but that makes the game very, very fun. This is the first boss of the cooperative mission that we were given, and he's just a giant tank, and he's got a couple abilities. Obviously, got that little machine gun. He spits out the little fallen sharks. He spits out grenades. Basically, they bounce like bouncy grenades. He's got that ability right there where he kind of locks on and goes pew 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 pew, and then a cannon. But if you shoot his legs until, like, if you see that front right leg actually is missing its armor, if you get rid of the armor, he killed me. Then he basically drops down and exposes his engine or core or whatever, and you shoot that for like 3 times damage. He also, at both of the bosses, actually spawn ads, which can be very, very, very obnoxious. But at the same time, that's the best way to get ammo if you don't remember to buy the consumables. But yeah, so I shot him in the leg, exploded, shoot him twice, and boom, he's down. At which point you'll see that on the right side, he actually gives me a weapon. Or was it an ammo? I don't remember. And then here's the final boss, the Septic's Prime, I believe it's called. Just a giant eyeball that goes pew, pew, pew. And again, he's got a soft spot, which is the front of his eye. You just want to keep shooting. But he's also pretty painful. Both boss fights probably take about 10 to 15 minutes, which is a good amount of time. But overall, the co-op experience, the kind of instance dungeon, and the teamwork that it takes to take them down definitely reminds me of World of Warcraft, and that's a good thing. So, and then killed him, and then the mission ends and you can explore for a little bit. The last thing that Bungie gave us access to was the PvP. They only gave us access to one, which is control, which is basically you control the 3 points. Pretty common for most FPSs and third-person shooters and all that. But it's interesting. The way the alpha works, at least, is no matter what level you are, it's a pretty even playing field. They even out the stats on your guns and all that. But there's alpha team and there's beta team. I think it's beta team. Sorry. But yeah, it's very fun, fast-paced. You capture the points. I have noticed that people really like shotguns, which is fine and all, but it's also really annoying because you turn a corner and boom, you're dead. And you're like, okay, cool, I didn't even get a chance to shoot him. But that's FPSs. Every once in a while, heavy ammo and special weapon ammo will drop that you can go and pick up and use in your guns. I'm interested to see what other things that Bungie's going to add. I can almost guarantee they'll probably have Capture the Flag, Deathmatch, and a pretty wide array of things to do PvP-wise. But it's pretty cool that there's going to be 3 different factions, because from what I noticed when I was in the tower, each faction kind of has certain things that it's good at with its armor and weapons. So if you play a certain way, PvP-wise, one's going to be better than the other. But it's, I liked it a lot. I like it more than a lot of the PvPs that I've played, just because it's, I mean, it could be because it's different, but the different abilities that everybody has, different kinds of grenades, different kinds of other things, are definitely really helpful. But the one thing I haven't showed is that you do have character customizations, some RPG elements. So you can equip a primary weapon, a special weapon, a heavy weapon, and then you've got a helmet, gauntlets, chest piece, legs, and then a cloak, which basically, I think that's more of a cosmetic than anything. I haven't seen any that have like stat additions or anything, but I could be wrong. One thing that kind of blew me out of the water is that your gun also has RPG elements. So I played with this particular gun for the main portion of the game, and then it got enough experience or whatever that I was able to upgrade its damage, which actually went up by about 30 points, I want to say. But you also have the ability to get a new ship, to get a speeder bike, to do all sorts of stuff. And these are those bounties I was talking about. I'm just clearing them out. So that's my poorly edited first impressions of the Destiny Alpha. If you want to see my full article, click here. I'm always really bad at that. And please make sure to like, subscribe our YouTube channel. I will be also doing a beta impressions, and when the game releases, I'll be doing a full game impressions as well. So, thanks for watching.